Welcome to a YSL research presentation where we are going to be converting between degrees and radians. As you may have guessed, we are going to be using the formulas in the blue box, and we're going to answer these two questions: converting 120 degrees to radians and also converting radians into degrees. We are not going to use our calculator, no matter how tempting that may be. So these questions are going to be done without a calculator. So the first one we want is we know the degrees, we want to work out the radians, and it's quite simple, just using what's in the box. So the first thing we have is pi over 180, which is standard for these questions. These numbers don't change. It's always pi over 180 times by the number of degrees, which is 120. And all this is going to be is the denominator stays the same, the numerator is multiplied by 120, so it's quite simple. We have 120 pi over 180. And then now all we really need to do is just simplify the fraction. Sorry, that looks like a 6. So the first thing we are going to do is there's a 0 on the top and the bottom of a fraction, so we can cancel that out. That will leave 12 pi over 18. Can you think of a times table that 12 and 18 appear in? The 6 times table. So what is 12 divided by 6? It's 2. So we have 2 pi, and 18 divided by 6 is 3. Now, can we simplify this any more? 2/3 basically. We can't. So that is the answer. So 2 pi over 3 radians. And next we're going to convert 5 pi over 3 radians to degrees. And we are going to use number of degrees equals 180 over pi. So what you need to notice is that we have basically inverted this, because the first example that we've done was pi over 180, but now it's an inversion of that. So we have 180 over pi times the number of radians. So this is a little bit more tricky, because obviously we've got two fractions now, whereas before we just literally had a fraction and an integer. What this is going to give us is 180 times 5 pi is going to give us 900 pi. Remember, no calculators, because if you do have these as questions and you get used to working your calculator or with a calculator, and then all of a sudden it appears on a non-calculator paper, you're in trouble. And then of course pi times 3 is just 3 pi. And now we need to simplify this, so the pi's will cancel out. And now we have 900 divided by 3 gives us 300 degrees. It's quite good to, when you get to this stage, put it in brackets and put a degrees sign up here, because it reminds you that the answer isn't 300, it's 300 degrees. Some markers might be a little bit funny about it, and they might give you only half of the a point or something like that. But that's as easy as it is. So as long as you remember these formulas, these questions are really simple. So I just wanted to go through an example where you can see how it works. And don't forget to subscribe, because there is a lot more videos coming that will help you in your studies.